One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay filling. One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay filling. It's BV. It's BV. BV. It's BV.
Yeah.
It's BV. It's BV.
BV.
It's BV.
BV.
It's BV.
It's BV and Jellified, Jimmy Beam and Bly, reaching highest where we reach, yo, as high as to the stars. Beats in the villain Jeep, vibrating other cars. Whose world is this? Yo, we say the world is ours. So we grow beards, no fear, photos so clear. Take another shot, so to speak, yeah, more beer. BV worldwide, put a fist to the sky. Cheers, cheers, new year's, dope rhyme, good vibes. My crew speaks power, Chi-Town bleeds power. Knowledge, wisdom, and truth in the final hour. Respect, loyalty, family, charity speaks power. Here the village brotherhood speaks honor. Forwards and onwards, stay villain to the end. I will never shave again because my beard is not a trend. I represent excellence, leadership, and never follow. I'm a BBC member, yo, lieutenant of Chicago.
One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay filling. One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay filling. It's BV. 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 Yo, all I see.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Friday Night Live. This is The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream. I say live stream tonight. The podcast and live stream devoted to the bearded villains, worldwide brotherhood, and the lives they are changing all over this world. Tonight, guys, it is the 28th of May. Where in the world has this year gone? I'm sitting around thinking earlier this week, and it's crazy because, you know, in this year, this year that we've been in so far, 5 months, almost 6 months in, with everything that happened last year, this and how slow last year drug. It just drug out because everything was canceled. We were all sheltered in place. We couldn't do anything. And the first 5 months of this year, I don't know if you're like me, but the first 5 months of this year had just flown by, if you're anything like me. And I was sitting down this week thinking, you know, I'm always planning. I'm always trying to think of what do we have coming up? What do we have going on? As you know, I do the calendar of events here with the podcast, and with different things going on, with me planning out different things for my chapter, with everything that we've got going, it's very easy to not look at the big picture. It's very easy to get so bogged down in the minutia of a day, of a week, because we go about our lives. And it's the 28th of May. We're almost halfway through this year, guys. And I mean, I don't, it's crazy. It's crazy to see this year has flown by. And I'm super excited because, you know, as this year is going to slide into the summer, we've got bearded villain events all over the place. We've got bearded villain events everywhere. So if you have not been able to attend a multi-chapter event, we're going to get into that in just a minute, this past weekend. But if you haven't given yourself the chance to go to a multi-chapter event, I'm telling you what, there is no excuse this year because they are all over the place. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's May 28th. This is the last podcast of May. We'll be in June. And before you know it, guys, we're going to hit that summer solstice, and the days are going to start getting shorter by daylight standards. It's kind of crazy to think about. But we're going to enjoy this while we can. And the ways of the world that they are, whether you are one of those that's pro-COVID vaccination or anti-COVID vaccination. It doesn't matter. Life is starting to return to normal. As I've said once before, I'll just say a quick statement here about that. Please respect those who have different beliefs than you. That's part of what we are. And it goes beyond the brotherhood. It goes beyond bearded villains. Respect those. We live in this social media world. Respect the other people that have differing opinions of yours. Be the bigger person. If they want to spout out their thing and say and talk about other people being foolish for their beliefs, that's fine. Let them do their thing. But let's get through this, because there are still people, and I know people personally, there are still people who are coming down with COVID, and there are still people being hospitalized. So just use your head, but follow your heart. Follow the heart of the villain, right? Follow your heart and be respectful. Be respectful of everybody. But we are starting, the world is opening up to us. Unless you live in Canada. Sounds like they're still locked down. I don't know, man. I want to hang out with my brothers up in Canada. And I know they want to come down and want to hang out with us too, but I don't know. Somebody in the comment section, if any of you, I know Mars is in there in the comment section. Somebody give us a message. Let us know what they're telling you up there. When can we sneak across the border, or get you guys snuck across the border so we can hang out? It can't be too long now. It can't be, can it? Can it really? Even if we're vaccinated? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We got to figure something out, guys. We got to figure something out. We can't let you guys, you're in the Great White North. We can't let you just disappear and be forgotten about, because we want to spend time with our Canadian brothers and sisters, even though they talk funny and the boat and stuff. Doesn't matter. They're still our brothers. So we got to, Mars says, cases are dropping. Well, let's hope for the best then. We need that. He says probably another month. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I want to give a shout out real quick here, as I do always, to those people who are here with us live in the live stream. Now, last week was let's just cut through everything that happened here. I mentioned it in a quick video that I posted on Instagram, I believe. I think that's where I posted it. So for all intents and purposes, the live stream last week, I know there were a lot of people out there confused. So basically what happened is we got going, got the live stream up and running, thought it was going well, and then the facility that we were at, they lost their Wi-Fi connection to the internet somehow. And it wasn't because of the signal, because I was still connected to their signal. But their end, something happened and they lost internet signal. So the problem with what we do here on YouTube is that if you lose signal, if the YouTube algorithm senses that you have lost internet, it will basically kind of lock in where you were when that happened, so that if you get your signal back up and running right away, you can click a little button that says resume, and it'll come right back to you, and it'll find you, and you can keep going on with your thing. Well, because that never happened, and because I never had a signal, I was never actually able to turn off the live stream. And so the live stream kept going with a blank screen. I couldn't even shut it off and say stop recording or stop doing whatever within YouTube. It wouldn't even let me in there. It was like there's an active live stream going and you couldn't do anything. So I know that there were many people here live last week that just sat there. And God bless you guys. You kept talking amongst yourselves. I watched later. I went back later and looked at some of the comments. And the comments were hysterical. You guys, in true form, your troopers, you just kept going and were wondering if you needed to check on me or what had to be done. You didn't know what was going on, and I couldn't explain it to you. So I apologize for that. But as I've been told earlier today, things will happen that are out of my control, and it's not always going to be perfect. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me for the, I don't know what it was, 2 minutes, maybe even not even 2 minutes, that I was live. And that wasn't even part of the podcast. That was the preamble part. That was the countdown timer stuff. So we never actually got it going. So my apologies for that. Hopefully, but you know what? This is part of the problem, I guess, or not problem, but it's the risk. It's the risk we take here on this show, because I want to do live streams every Friday night. I want to record the podcast live because we have so much fun doing it. And it's because of that we risk the possibility of losing signal someplace else that is not in the norm. If we go to an outside place and we try to record the podcast from XYZ bar, we have no idea. I try to do my homework in advance to find out that make sure that they have good enough Wi-Fi that's going to support it. But you just never know. It's a crapshoot. So there may be times in the future, because I'm still planning on being able to do the live streams from the events that I will be going to this year. I'm trying to avoid going through the whole pre-recording the podcast to play it live type of a thing, because I think that's a cheat. And so I would still like to be able to do that if the circumstances are right for all the different events. Now, I'll be telling you guys a little bit later, reminding you which other events this year that I will be at, so you'll know if there's a meet and greet or something like that. That's where we're going to try and do the live stream from. So that's where we're at. So I want to give a shout out to Robaba, all the way, of course, from the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, sir. Ty, how you doing? How you doing? Mars was here in the house checking in with us. He's one of our boat brothers, and hopefully we're going to get that border opened up real soon, hopefully. Nick was in the house for us just for a little bit, stopped in to wish us well and to tell us that he is going to go on a date night with the wife and no kiddos. So, hey, have fun tonight. Nick, we appreciate you popping in. Hope you have a great night. Family time is absolutely necessary and 100 times more important than hanging out with us tonight. So, very happy to see you out there enjoying yourself. Josh, how you doing tonight? Josh is here. Oh, you guys are awesome. I appreciate all the support and you guys taking some time out on a Friday. I know Puzzle's here too. I saw him pop in with his little googly eyes. Mark, Mr. Davis, how you doing? How you doing? So, so far, these are our people. This is who is live with us right now that I can see. If you are here, I am going to take a little bit of extra time while we're doing the podcast to kind of keep an eye this week as kind of a thank you to all of you guys that do hang out with us live. I do want to hang out. I do want to, interact a little bit more with you this week. So we'll see what we can do in that regard. But this is episode 85. And guys, this is just going to be a random, we're going to take a look back a little bit at DSV5, some of my thoughts, and kind of what I took away, what I liked, what I saw, some really cool experiences. And then I do want to mention the importance of this weekend's holiday, for sure. Not to put a too fine a point on it, but first I do want to say thank you. Every time, there are times when we kind of lose ourselves a little bit to stress. There's times where we get all up in our head a little bit, and it can be personal stuff. It can be, just life kicking us. when we don't expect it. It could be a variety of different things. I know we all experience that on a daily basis. I think most people do. And I try to always, as far as I'm concerned, I always try to put forth the very positive face and smile and remind other people to smile and be happy, happy, happy. So last week, with what we went through, we as the collective trying to do this podcast, live stream, and all of you guys that tried to watch it with me, when things don't go right, when things don't go the way I hope for them to go, when they don't go the way I expect them to, apparently it's very obvious to those around me that I have a hard time hiding my stress level, my unhappiness, because I try to bring the best product, the best show, the best live stream, the best podcast to all of you guys. And it was brought to my attention, thankfully, today by a very awesome brother of ours, Mr. Hector Puzzle. Was just chatting with him before we started the live stream tonight. And he kind of reminded, he told my co-captain Ed, I didn't see him on Sunday when we all left DSV. I had to get up and leave early in the morning. But he saw Ed before he left, and he reminded him, he said, hey, tell BP to relax. And I was like, huh, okay. Well, had a little conversation with Puzzle. And it was nice to hear, because he reminded me that no matter how perfect you want things to be, no matter, the bumps that you're gonna take with this podcast or with anything else, no matter how perfect you want it to be, it's not gonna be. And I think my fear in situations like in situations like last week, when things like that happen, you're concerned that, I'm concerned, I'll push that back on me. There's a concern by me sometimes that people are going to decide, okay, I'm done with this. I don't need to listen to this anymore. And that's everybody's. There have been people that have listened for short times and left after a few episodes, and that's all fine and well. But I always want to produce the best possible product with the best possible information to get out to everybody what my original goal was for this podcast. And when things don't go right, they don't go the way I want them to, I lose my head a little bit, get a little upset. And so I want to thank Hector for sending that message of relax. Kind of like Aaron Rodgers once so famously did in a press conference. He didn't spell it out, but he could have. RELAX, relax. So in times when things don't always go the way I want to, I will try to heed your words, Hector, and just remind myself that it is going to be what it is going to be. And that's kind of the way I usually live my life. But when technology fails me, it's not a lack of preparation, when it's just something goes wrong, that's when I have a harder time with that. So thank you, Hector, for the reminder. Absolutely. So thank you. Guys, we don't have a whole lot of merch stuff to talk about real quick, as I always try and tune that in a little bit and just remind you guys about that. I know the Knox Villains shirts are still, those things I think have signed off now, but I'll double check, and if for some reason they're still available, I'll let you know. But Knox Villains weekend and the West Coast weekend is our next big thing, and so we're definitely looking forward to that as far as the next bigger events that are multi-chapter coming in. Yeah, Puzzle throwing it in there. Some of us just need this. Chopping it up with bros. Words, no set schedules. I hear that. Yeah, Rob says, Rob reminds us, all the way from the UK. Way to pay attention on that. Way to pay attention. I did see that. Anybody that likes to collect chapter rings that are available to anybody out there, not all chapters do this, but Rocket City is. So Rocket City's rings are on pre-order. So hit up the Rocket City villains for some info on that. Pretty cool rings, man. So if that's something that you're interested in, you want to collect those, we know that's on. So that's the thing. Okay, just an update real quick on the... See, you guys are looking out for me. I do appreciate it because there are going to be things that fall through the cracks for me when I'm trying to keep track of stuff. So thank you, Ty. The BVPA East Pride patches from BVPA East, they are available as well. So thank you. Thank you. And as Puzzle mentions so nicely, we will release a collab here next month. Super excited about that. That's a long time coming. So super duper excited about that one. All right. So the documentary is flowing along. One of the things that I discovered this past weekend is that I am going to have to specifically reserve space and reserve time to get my interviews in. I am not going to be able to rework a standard hotel bedroom area to make it look good and look like I want it to for this documentary to do interviews. So that's something that I have to plan for. So one of those things I learned, I'm going to have to plan a little better for that to get my interviews in the way I want them. And hopefully, as you see, those of you who were at DSV this weekend probably saw me out with the camera and trying to get some B-roll from different things. And if you were there and you were on camera, there's a possibility that you'll be, or if you're at one of the other events I'm going to be at, there's a possibility you'll be in this thing in some way, shape, or form. So that's the plan for right now. I don't have any specific updates. Hopefully in the coming weeks, meaning the next 2 or 3, I'll be able to go more in depth on how I said that you guys can be a part of the process a little bit if you're interested in supporting the actual film. So we'll get into that later, but I don't want to delve too deeply into that right now because not a whole lot of details forthcoming. So that is that. All right, guys. Real quick, I want to talk for a second about what this weekend that we are coming into is for. And this is just a great reminder to us all. With social media and everything that we come into, we see a lot of posts that sometimes mean well, but they're in the wrong place. They don't, maybe they mean well, but they just don't understand, I think. And so I did this last year, and I think this is something I'm going to always talk about during the Memorial Day weekend as just a reminder. But too often this is just confused. And we see a lot of posts in Facebook and other places where people say, hey, thank you so much for serving, to their friends and family that have served. And that's a nice enough sentiment. Don't confuse the sentiment of thanking somebody for being a veteran, which would be Veterans Day, with Memorial Day. Remember that Memorial Day is the day we remember and honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving in the military. Separate from Veterans Day, which is the day we show appreciation for those who served. So Memorial Day is obviously in memoriam of those who lost their lives. And that's what we need to make sure we're focusing on. It's always a great thing to thank people. But the people that have served oftentimes will be the first people to tell you, thank you, but Memorial Day is for the heroes that lost their lives. So I just like to put that in perspective. I always like to mention that this time of year when things happen, because it's always just a great reminder. And then also, I do have to pay a little homage to my namesake as we are here for that purpose this week with Memorial Day weekend. My namesake, Brian Devaney, was a helicopter pilot that was killed in Vietnam. And I was thankful that I was able to, several years ago, to go out to the wall in Washington, D.C. and see his name on the wall and get an etching for my parents that was his name, that he was good friends with my parents, and that's why they chose to name me after him. So just keep that in perspective, guys, and for this weekend. And yes, it's nice to have the extra day off work. It's nice to have the extra time with family. But keep in mind that it is just that. And the whole reason that you're able to do that is because somebody else at one time no longer could. So just an important, I think, reminder for us all about what this weekend is all about. So let's get into a quick thing. Now, there's, as I said, and I didn't mention this earlier because I didn't want everybody to just disappear when they found out. There are no interview guests this week specifically, but that's okay. That's okay. As we found out, we're not always going to have specifically an interview guest. And this weekend, this week has been a struggle for a lot of people. This week has been getting back into life. There's a lot of people that were even talking out on Instagram and Facebook and all the different platforms that it took them till Wednesday, some people, to kind of find their bearings after this weekend, having such a great time and spending it with brothers that they, in a lot of cases, hadn't seen in years. And so I love that. That's always great to see. But so I just want to talk for a second about a couple things regarding DSV-5 and what an amazing, absolutely incredible weekend it was. Time for sharing, time for meeting new people, time for brotherhood, a time for all that good stuff that we love so much about these multi-chapter meets. First of all, I have to say thank you and congratulations to our brothers North and South Mississippi for hosting an amazing weekend, doing an outstanding job with all of the arrangements and making sure that really there wasn't anything that was not planned for. And they did such a great job being hosts. Special thanks to Craft Advisory Brewing Company for hosting the meet and greet on Friday. I do not hold you accountable for your Wi-Fi service, but Craft Advisory got to speak with the owner of that establishment for a little bit on Friday night. Such a cool guy. Yeah, it was really fun to learn how he actually started not too long ago, just a few years ago, how he actually started the process of creating his beers at his house in his garage. And it evolved into this brewery that he has there today, which has a bunch of really good stuff, really good drinks. So thank you again to Craft Advisory. And then also to the Juke Joint. Of course, the Juke Joint was awesome hosts for us. I had a great time there, as we knew we would. I don't know that the fine people at the Juke Joint were quite ready for us. The sheer numbers of people that we were going to be bringing, they were kind of told, hey, they're coming in force, but I'm not sure that they quite knew what they were in for. They found out and adapted, so do appreciate it. kind of along those lines, guys, as we find with these multi-chapter event weekends, and I think we see it a lot, but because we've been away from it for so long, it's super obvious when you see it and you've been away from it. Nothing that we don't expect, but those of us who were there, I know, as you always do in these events, you experience some incredible acts of brotherhood and kindness while you're there. And I have to say, huge shout out. We had two very specific incidents that I remember seeing and hearing, either hearing about or seeing personally, where it was awesome to see brothers stepping up to help out other brothers. One was more intense of a situation than the other, but no less important either one. The boys that went out and hung out at the beach on Friday before the meet and greet went to hang out at the beach. There were a handful of them out there. And it was cool to see. They shared a video of our brother Doug Wheels, Orlando CoCap. He was out there with them too at the beach. But for obvious reasons, with his chair, he couldn't go through the sand. And the guys that were there were just like, nope, you're coming out here with us and enjoying this beach with us. And so they picked him up and picked up his chair and carried him out onto the beach to have some bro time on the beach and take some pictures and just enjoy it for what it was. And I just think that is incredible. It's an incredible sight to see when our brothers step up and show that heart. And then Saturday night, actually rewind back for a second. One of our brothers, Mark, was injured over the course of the weekend. And due to his injury, he was not able to walk for all intents and purposes. He just couldn't do it because he was injured. And guys found out that not only was he injured, but he and his better half, such an amazing woman herself, they arrived at the juke joint to hang out for a few minutes so that she could stop in and say hi and tell a couple people, but that he was not going to be able to come in for the event itself. He was stuck in the car. And, she said, if you want to go say hi to him, he's over across the street in the parking lot, because the parking lot there at the building was full. So she said, he's across the street in the parking lot. Our brothers said, no, this is DSV and he needs to be a part of this. And what an incredible, very cool gesture it was. We had so many brothers march right across the street in droves. And there must have been 30 guys that went across the street aiming to try and help to coax him out of his car and to say, no. You're coming with us and we're going to carry you across the street. And that's exactly what our brothers did. Our brothers took Mark across the street, found a chair for him, carried him the rest of the way, and found him a center court shot seat right there in the middle where he could enjoy the night. And our brothers, it was just an amazing thing to see. Now, it's not something that, you wouldn't expect, but to see that, to see our brothers say, they could have just said, no, we're busy here and it sucks that he can't come, but give him our love and tell him we'll see him. That's not what they did. They said, no, we're going to give him our love and we're going to bring him in. And it was just such a sight to see. Just carrying him across the street, bringing him right in through the gate, right into the area, right through the door, right through the back area, and plopping him right down so he had a seat for the night to hang out with his brothers to enjoy the weekend, the rest of the weekend. So I just can't say thank you enough. I know that Hector, I know that Derek, both of you guys were a part of that. I unfortunately was not able to be a part of it, the specific carrying, because there were so many guys. I was in the group of 25 or whatever it is that walked across the street. And I initially had gone over across the street to talk to him right when I saw his wife there. I said, hey, he's over there in the car. So I ran over to talk to him. And I said, we need to get you over here. He's like, he just kind of tried to brush it off. Well, I walked back across the street, and as I was walking back across the street, got back to the back room to find out that there had already been an assembly of 15 or 20 guys that was added to another 10 or so that were already ready to go. And so out this group, this motley crew, walked across the street. So yeah, it was just a sight to behold. And it just kind of epitomized, what the weekend was. We had proposals, and we even had a wedding officiated there at the event by a brother. That right there, guys, is what is amazing about the brotherhood. And that's what I want the world to see. That's what I want the world to see about the brotherhood, that our brotherhood is family. Our brotherhood is all heart. And that's the heart of a villain right there. Mark is here with us live. And have to say, he says it was amazing to experience this. There's a video coming as well. Thank you all my brothers and sisters and to Tasha. Yeah, it was amazing. It was very awesome. And as Hector says, remember our conversation, Mark. It was meant to be. You were meant to be there. Absolutely. And we were so happy to see. So happy to see. Guys, I was hoping to be able to bring in a few of our brothers who may have experienced something specific that was their first chapter event, multi-chapter event. I kind of put out feelers earlier in the week asking for people, and this is another one of those things where, woulda, shoulda, coulda, best case scenario doesn't always go the way I hope for it to. I forget sometimes that not everybody wants to be on camera. Not everybody wants to record a short little video of their experiences. And so maybe I need to find a way to let people share their thoughts that I can share with the podcast crew a little bit more readily, easily, I guess, other than a video. So, but I was curious. I kind of put feelers out there asking, if this was your first ever multi-chapter meet, what was it for you? What did you see? What did you experience? And the only actual response that I got, Derek sent me from a brother down there in Florida. And I'm sad to say that the video quality of what he sent me, I don't know if it was so poorly recorded or if it was the quality when it transferred onto the phone, but the quality was so poor that I was unable to actually hear much of what he said at all, other than I kind of got the gist a little bit about what it was. Sorry about that. So yeah, it was sad to see that, because I know he had some really good thoughts. I could understand that what he said basically was that to experience it firsthand, he had heard before what these events were like. He had heard what it was like to experience, but his experience and what he saw was far and away above what he could have imagined that it would be. And hopefully here, maybe in the coming days or weeks, I can get some responses on that, and I can then forward that out, create a little video of video responses for some people, because I think that would be really cool to see. Just kind of a little trailer that first timers, what's it like for you, first timers? But we had a brother from northern Indiana who's a hopeful, who experienced his first multi-chapter meet. He went down with us. And I'm telling you what, he didn't have, the smile that was on his face didn't leave his face until long after he was home. He was so excited, so jazzed about it. He couldn't stop smiling. He couldn't stop showing his excitement for everything that he heard that Bearded Villains was about, and what he had already experienced more on a local in-chapter type of a thing. But to see everybody, to meet people from around the world who were so diverse, was one of the coolest things for him to see, to meet people who had such a different background, but yet all brought together by this thing called Bearded Villains. So I hope that we're able to kind of push that and get that little video, get some kind of a little video out for people to really enjoy that. And hopefully we will in the future. Mars says BV meets are a bucket list thing. Yeah, you know, I will say I am very fortunate, and I realize that I am very lucky to be in a position that I'm in where I can attend a wide variety of these meets. There are a lot of guys that want so badly to go to these meets, be it borders are locked down from Canada to the U.S., be it they have to work and they can't get off that weekend, mandatory overtime. It could be family issues. There are times where guys want to go, they make plans to go, something happens in the personal life that trumps it, and they can no longer go. But so I realize how fortunate I am to be able to plan out a year and be able to say, I'm going to be going to these 4 events, these multi-chapter events, all of them, you know, all these different things. And I know how lucky that is. And I know there's people that get to go to 1 a year or 1 every 2 years. But I just implore everybody to find some time to go. Find some event where you know there's going to be people that you don't already know from other chapters of BV that are going to be there. And I just say what you will experience will blow you away. Will completely blow you away. Mark says, hotel room booked for Knox Villains. All right. Can't wait to see you again there, bud. Let me say this also while I'm thinking about it. Thank you. Big shout out to Mark. This fine hat here, as most people know who watch this show, I love these flat caps. And we got into a conversation one day about the hats, and he said he found one of the most comfortable ones ever that he'd ever seen, ever felt. And it's basically the only thing he ever wears now, he says. And he brought me a hat, knowing he gave me one of his hats. This hat right now, I love it. I've actually been online already looking for more colors so I can wear a vast variety. Is vast variety a thing? Or a wide variety? I don't know. A variety, anyway, of colors of this same kind of hat. Very, very, very comfortable. You were not lying about that, Mark. So thank you very much. While I'm also talking about things, this shoulder, big shout out to Mr. Papa. Mr. Papa did something a little bit unique. And I got to talk about this for a second. Mr. Papa, who is a avid viewer of this program here live, while watching the program, he said, there's a space right over BP's shoulder that appears to be blank. There's a space that doesn't seem to have something. And he hit me up while we were down at DSV, and he said, here you go. And I know exactly where I want this. He said, I know exactly where I want this patch. I said, what? He said, right over your shoulder. He told me which shoulder and made sure of it and said, I even watched a video playback of a previous podcast episode so he could point out where I wanted it. And there it is, right there. Right there. Boom. There it is. His hog patch is on the wall behind me in prominent display. So thank you for watching. Thank you for I guess, goading me into shameless self-promotion for the hogs. Yeah, right there. Shameless self-promotion for the hogs, right over my shoulder. So had to do it. I was also very fortunate to somehow, by I'm not sure what forces enacted, but somehow I pulled off a victory in the 4 to 8 inch natural beard category, and that, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. Yeah, you can see it right there. That is right there. That little wood plaque right there. So who knows? It may become a trophy room down the road. Unlikely, but it might. Yeah. So, guys, it was just an amazing weekend. It was a really amazing weekend. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see what the rest of this year brings us. We're going to talk about in just a couple minutes the variety of other events that are coming up. There are some events that we are just adding, that I'm just adding today. And it's my own event. I'm excited to tell you guys about that. Super excited about that one. I just posted on our chapters page about it. So it's going to be our first event as a chapter. So yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on a night when we didn't have an interview, when I got to chill with you guys here in the comment section a little more than normal, a little more interaction than I have in the past. So I'm excited about that. Any chance I can get to do that. I know it's not for the benefit of the standard audio podcast people. So if you are listening in a standard audio podcast platform, I do apologize. But sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. If you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and coarse hairs, but make your beard soft and smell amazing, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran-owned and made for today's beards, Pulpo beard products combine the best beard ingredients on the market with incredible customer service to ensure your happiness. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo beardoils.com, and use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. All right. So, big shout out to Pulpo. I did really quickly want to mention this. This came across, I knew it was coming up. And anytime, obviously, we have chapters doing some amazing things all over the place. But this one, and it's not just that I'm trying to give specific shout outs, maybe to some chapters and not other chapters. But not every chapter puts things that they do out on IG, and I understand that. But one chapter that's very good about doing that, sharing stuff with what their chapter's doing, is Miami. And I want to take a quick second out to say congratulations to our brothers down in Miami. They had a partnership with Limitless Lifters Fit this past week. And I'm telling you what, the video from this, I'm going to try to make sure this video plays without sound because I'll just talk over it a little bit because the important thing is that I don't know if there's music in the background of this thing. Hopefully you can still hear me. But what I love, this is inspirational stuff, super inspirational stuff. The limitless lifters partnering up with our brothers in Miami. They do this. I don't know if it's considered a competition, but they have this event called Record Breakers that they do, where it's a lifting event for people with special needs. And to see, first off, to see some of the weight that some of these people are lifting is pretty damn impressive. But to see the fact that some of these people, the struggles, the physical struggles that some of these people have, they just don't let it bother them. They don't let it get around them. And in some cases, these are children, people. These are children. They're taught, you can tell that they've been taught proper technique. Look at that. That's amazing. They've been taught proper technique on how to lift. They just say, you know what? Damn any kind of physical hurdles that I have. Damn any kind of hurdles that I have. And I'm going to participate in this, and I'm going to inspire people. It's incredible to see. So big shout out to Miami, to Limitless Lifters for this Record Breakers event that they do. I saw it for the first time when they did it last year, and wow, it was just amazing. So if you get a chance, do yourself the favor, please. Go out, find the Bearded Villains Miami Instagram page, BV305, and watch some of the look at the pictures. Watch some of the little clips that they have on here. If you need any kind of inspiration to get you through a rough patch in your day, I guarantee you it's going to do it. I guarantee you it's going to do it. Battle Axe Jim, thank you. Thank you, Puzzle. But yeah, such an incredible thing to watch. So if you get a chance, please go out there. Kudos to you guys again and down in Miami for an amazing, amazing effort partnering with them to get this event done. So cool to see. Very cool. All right. I'm going to slide in here to the calendar events. Pay special attention toward the end because I will be announcing here on the podcast the existence of a new event that is for my chapter. That's right, boys and girls. Okay, so our next big weekend, I know that we have somebody just put it into chat. Derek put it in here in the chat, so I'll mention it first because I want to make sure I have it, and I don't. It's not on my list, so I'll make sure I add it to my list. Derek, if you're listening still, please send me a note, flyer on that. I want to make sure I still have it. You may have already sent it to me, but I think it got deleted somehow. July 17th, the First Coast Villains have their 4-year anniversary beach bash. You can guess where that's at, down in Jacksonville. Somewhere on a beach, I'm betting. July 17th for their beach bash, 4-year anniversary. Very cool to see. So I want to make sure I get that on the list. Also, June, we're going to slide first into June here, a little backwards from July. June 11th and 12th, the weekend of June 11th and 12th, we got 2 things going on, so you get your pick. We either have the West Coast meet, if you want to do that, in Denver, Colorado, or if you're closer to the Midwest, Knox Villains, hosted by Smoky Mountain Bearded Villains. 2 big events, 2 multi-chapter events. If you live anywhere near them within, I would say, 8 hours, find a way to get there. If it's more, make it more. But those are really cool events, both of them, in one weekend. We need it. We need it, guys. Have some time to hang out with your brothers and help out some good causes. So West Coast meet in Denver, Colorado, June 11th to 12th. Knox Villains, June 12th in Knoxville. Then June 26th, the Bearded Villains Inland Empire has an event that they are partnering with Barrel and Stave Poorhouse. With the proceeds going to Tyler Skaggs Foundation. This is just a hangout. No beard comps or anything like that. Just hanging out, raising some money. And that's June 26th. July 16th through the 18th, the Bearded Villains New York Upstate has their 1 year and counting. It is in Lyons, New York. They have a meet and greet with barbecue on the 16th. They have a charity softball game, pig roast on the 17th, farewell brunch on the 18th. So that's going to be a good time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend that one, but hopefully you guys will. July 16th to the 18th. I already talked about the other one in July. First Coast's having their anniversary. Then we slide into August. The big event for the year, the big event is in Miami. The Miami International Meet. It's become international now. August 13th through the 15th. Hosted by the Bearded Villains of Miami. 305s. That's going to be an amazing time. Get down there. It's in place of the World Meet this year because Chicago's still locked down enough that they couldn't host. So hopefully plans for the future. This year it's Miami. August 13th through the 15th. Be there. Then September 2nd through the 6th, the Villain Cruise 5, hosted by Bearded Villains Sweden and Finland in Barcelona, Spain. That's September 2nd through the 6th. Then September 10th through the 12th. September 10th to the 12th is the Four Corners meet. You'll remember the Four Corners meet is for brothers only. Brothers only, no significant others, no insignificant others, no kids, none of that stuff, just brothers. It's in Cortez, Colorado, hosted by the Phoenix, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah Bearded Villains, September 10th through the 12th. Then September 24th to the 26th, this is another one I'm going to be going to. The East Coast meets, September 24th to the 26th, in Parkersburg, West Virginia, hosted by our brothers at Bearded Villains, West Virginia. Don't have any specific details on that one yet, but I just know that it's in Parkersburg and it's September 24th to the 26th. So if you're anywhere nearby, come hang out. That's going to be another good one. Last East Coast meet was pretty impressive. Then October 8th and 9th, Bearded Villains Missouri Valley has an unnamed event. I haven't heard if they've named it yet. Friday night meet and greet, silent auction, 50-50 raffle. It's Saturday at the Tin Roof, 12 to 5. October 8th and 9th. October 8th and 9th for Bearded Villains Missouri Valley chapter. Then October 15th and 16th is the Florida Summit in Pensacola Beach. I did confirm that this weekend. So October 15th to 16th, the Florida Summit, Pensacola Beach. No further details at this moment, but just mark the calendar if you're down there. Then the new one. Get ready for it, boys and girls. The Bearded Villains Northern Indiana chapter. My chapter. We're going to be hosting our first event, our first ever major event, and it coincides the week before Halloween. And most people don't know our logo, our crow, our scarecrow has a name. His name is Ezra, and the event is called Ezra Crow's Halloween Havoc. Ezra Crow's Halloween Havoc, and it's going to be October 23rd. Saturday before Halloween, so you can still celebrate Halloween with your family, with your kids, the next week. But the week before, come to Indiana. Come to Valparaiso, Indiana, where we're going to have it. Going to be a great time. There's going to be a beard competition. There's going to be a costume contest. We're going to have silent auction. It's all to celebrate our 1 year anniversary and have a great time. So that is Ezra Crow's Halloween Havoc, hosted by the Bearded Villains of Northern Indiana, October 23rd. Mark it down. Then November 12th through the 14th, the Bearded Villains of Southern Indiana have their Battle of the Beards 2021. Battle of the Beards 2021. It's hosted again by the Bearded Villains of Southern Indiana. They've knocked it out of the park every year. That's November 12th through the 14th. So the event is going to be held on my birthday. So bring me presents or buy me drinks or whatever if I'm going to be down there. Do that for sure. And then November 13th, also the last thing on our list, November 13th, is Beards Away, hosted by Virginia Bearded Villains. The 6th anniversary and beard competition. It's going to be at Bunker Brew Pub. November 13th, Beards Away, hosted by the Virginia Bearded Villains. Whew. That's a lot of stuff, guys. That's a lot. I remember when we just had like no items or one item on the list. Now I have to go through my little song, my little background song like 2 or 3 times to make it work. Yeah. So lots and lots and lots of stuff. If you have any questions or concerns or curiosities about what I just talked about, if you have any questions, hit me up. I can give you what I know about it. And yeah, we're just going to move on. And I'm looking forward to it, guys. We know what this means. This means this is going to wrap up episode 85 of The Heart of a Villain, guys. Remember, you can still buy those shirts, patches, pins, all that good stuff at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. Heartofavillain.simplecast.com. That's where you can also listen to all previous 84 episodes of this podcast. So please get out there, support, and enjoy. For sure. Guys, remember, I want to challenge you, as I always do, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. Finally, guys, I implore you, things are getting back to normal, but we still need to watch out for each other. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. So for now, guys, have an incredible night. Enjoy this weekend. Remember for what it's for. Honor those that we've lost. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the week ahead. Guys, take care. Stay safe.